So UFC Fight Nights this weekend, Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates, and I'm going with Carlos Prates. At first I was a little worried for Prates because like Ian Garry is the more proven fighter, he has fought more high level comp, while Prates hasn't been proven and his best win is Neil Magny. However, it doesn't really matter. If you're good, you're good. Like Ilya's best win was Josh Emmett, and Josh Emmett is trash, and he knocked out Volkanovski and he KO'd Max Holloway. So it doesn't matter what type of comp you're facing, especially like you're finishing everybody you're facing. So, and plus he has aura, he's a fighting nerd. I learned that very quickly to not doubt these guys anymore. Like I saw Gene Silva get taken down by Jordan with 3 different types of takedowns, and then he fights a higher level comp in Bryce Mitchell, stuffed literally every single takedown and subbed him. So I'm not gonna doubt these guys anymore. I learned my mistake. Aura is the best base for MMA because like it's true, these guys get better rapidly out of nowhere. So how can you doubt these guys? All they do is win, and they're a really good team. So that's literally the reason why I'm going with Prates. It's kind of hard to bet against them when like they keep winning. Until one of them lose, then I'm gonna pick Aljo over Gene Silva. You could tell I haven't learned my lesson, but it does not matter. I will get one of them at one point. It's just I can see Gene losing and I want to see it for some reason. Not really, he's kind of a cool style, so maybe I'm not gonna root for him to lose, but I'm gonna get the pick eventually. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, I'm talking about Ian Garry versus Prates. Yeah, I think Prates is gonna win off of that, and I don't really like Ian Garry that much. I was gonna pick him, I already said this, but like he is so annoying. He's been annoying me all week with his interviews, his media day. Like he's just yapping at this point. It really is annoying me. He's claimed he is more Brazilian than Carlos Prates because he smoked cigarettes and drank whiskey, supposedly. Like, bro, you train with Oliveira for a month and all of a sudden you're Brazilian, bro. Let's chill out here. And also, he's claiming he stole Neil Magny's soul. I don't really think that's that impressive, especially when I seen RDA finish them in a round. Gilbert Burns also finished them in a round. Shavkat finished them in a second. Like, you took him to a decision. Great job, bro. Great job. Like, it's weird he's glazing that win. Oh, I took his soul. Bro, you even KO him. You took him to a decision. Like, if you're gonna claim somebody took his soul, like Prates took his soul then. Like, he KO him without even touching him. Heck, even Michael Morales finished Neil Magny. Like, I don't know what's going on with Ian Garry. He's been very weird. He also glazed himself for like going to a decision with Shavkat. It's very weird. Like he's saying, how can he look himself in the mirror and call himself a man after facing me? Like, bro, what are you talking about? He beat you, a 4-1 decision. I don't know. I wish I had that delusion of Ian Garry's because that is crazy delusion, but it's whatever. All it matters who's gonna win this weekend. But however, I want to add one more thing before we move on. I do find it really crazy for him to say you can't understand a single word Buckley says. That is a crazy thing to say because Buckley literally speaks perfect English, doesn't mumble, doesn't have a stutter, literally perfect English, and he has he said you couldn't understand a word he says. That is a crazy thing to say. What does that mean, Ian Garry? I want to know what that means. But yeah, moving on. But that just made me laugh. I don't know why. It just, I remember the Brendan Shaw joke. Have you ever seen that? Like, Brendan Shaw made a joke about like this Asian doctor that was in the UFC, and he had the most racist accent, and then you hear what the doctor actually sounds like, and it's like, what the freak? You just made this whole thing up. What does that mean, Ian Garry? What does that mean? And it just reminded me of it. I'm like, Buckley literally speaks perfect English. I don't know what he's talking about. It's whatever. All right, then I'll move on now. Now we can officially move on. Let's talk about the fight. I think Ian Garry is gonna lose this fight pretty comfortably. Not that confident, but like a good amount, like a good 60-40. That's how confident I am. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's just with Ian Garry, he's going to decision after decision and not very impressively. Like, he arguably lost against Jeff Neal, had a close fight with MVP, arguably also lost that fight and couldn't sub him. So that also makes me kind of more confident that like Prates could get this done. I feel like Prates has some idea what goes on the ground, and I think he's a black belt in BJJ, so that does mean something. I don't think Prates is going to be taken down by Ian Garry, and if he does, I don't think it's going to be that long. I feel like Prates has the ability to get back up. I do worry that if it does get to the later rounds, I do kind of favor Ian Garry because he has more experience than 5-rounders, while Prates is finishing people in the first and second round and hasn't really faced any adversity. So if it does go to the later rounds, I do favor Ian Garry, but I don't think it will. I feel like Garry has some holes in his game that Prates can exploit. He overestimates his reach. I said this like when this fight got announced. He overestimates how much reach he has. He has like the shortest reach for a 6'3" guy. I think he's about 6'2" realistically, but he has a habit where he thinks he has more reach than he actually does, and he ends up getting caught. He got caught with MVP, he got caught with Shavka with a good hand. So that's why I'm really going with Prates. Plus, Prates is really good at hand fighting. That's one of his underrated techniques he's had. He's really good at hand fighting, and I think he would beat Garry to the punch most of the time because of the reach, and I just think Prates is a better striker than almost anybody Garry ever fought when it comes to finishing potential and being very technical. So yeah, that's literally the reason why I think Prates is going to win. He's a really good striker, really technical. He has the finishing potential where most of Garry's opponents don't have on the feet. Jeff Neal has the finishing potential, but he has struggled with long, lanky dudes. Same thing with MVP. He has the finishing potential, but he couldn't stop the takedowns, and he's very low output, unlike Prates. That's why I'm going with Prates this weekend. I think the way the fight's going to go, I feel like Garry is going to be hitting him a couple of times, probably get the first round, and the second one, Garry's doing the same thing until the later half of the round. Prates starts gain his timing, starts catching Garry with shots, and then win the later half of the round. And then when we get to the third, that's when I think Prates will knock him out. That's how I think the fight's gonna go. If I might be wrong, but I doubt it, you know. I think I got this pretty clearly. They have aura, they should win, and if they don't, they're frauds. A bunch of frauds, I tell you. There's just a bunch of bones of a tings, fakers, liars, pants on fires. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's late, it's 3 in the morning, and I kind of make this late. So I do think Prates would win. If he don't, then it's whatever. I'll just pick Aljo over Gene Silva. This is where the fraud shit comes. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man. But anyways, I hope you liked the video. I hope I broke it down well and convinced you that Prates will win. If he don't win, please don't come back and say, oh, you got it wrong. It's a 50-50 pick in my opinion. So it doesn't matter if I get it wrong. In the grand scheme of things, bro, we all want to see Garry go out cold. So if you root against me, you have a problem. That's why I'm going to go with this. You have the problem. But yeah, thank you for watching. That's pretty much it. I hope you liked the video, and that's it. Thank you.